Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to the second episode of my Crusader Kings 3 campaign where we are starting off as Mercia and trying to form the Empire of Britannia. If you haven't watched the first video, please do go and watch that because it'll make a lot more sense to watch them in order. I see a lot of people have already been watching the first video, so I'm really pleased with that. Thank you very much, and I hope you continue to enjoy this series. So I've been sitting and having a bit of a think about the next steps to take, and I've decided what I really need to do is get myself a better alliance network, and that's mainly because I'm pretty certain that Jorvik is going to attack me. He can't really go to the north because the only person he has to the north is another Viking tribe, which means he's got to go to the south. Now, he's still got those event-spawn troops, so altogether he's got about, I don't know, military strength, what, 5,000 soldiers, compared to my 2,000. And even if you add the soldiers of my ally, Alba, he's still got more. So he's just going to walk all over me. So I'm going to try and get allied with Wessex. Now, some might disagree with that because obviously this is all territory that I want, but I can't really afford to be fighting with Wessex right now, and especially early in the game. As a Christian nation, I'd have to be fabricating claims against these counties, and they cost gold, and I don't really have a lot of gold. And not just that, if I start claiming these, it's going to be one county at a time, and the war's so slow going. Let's deal with the Vikings first. So with that said, let's go and speak to you and see if we can get an alliance he will accept. In the meantime, we also want to build up some of our armies, so let's go and increase the size of the bowmen. I'm always a little bit split about how early to do this, because the earlier you start getting men-at-arms and the earlier you upgrade them, the more expensive it is because you are paying maintenance. Even when they're not raised, you still pay maintenance for them. But they still take a little bit of time to get up to full numbers, so it's probably best to get them early if you think you're going to be attacked. I'd like to get, potentially, some light horsemen. They're alright in planes, because we have quite a bit of planes, but we don't have the 85 gold. I think I might actually just take the decision. No, I can't get any money yet from the leader of my faith, which is a real shame. I'd like to do that because we don't have an awful lot of income right now. So Wessex has actually agreed to the alliance. So if we were to have a look at declaring a war against Jorvik, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, look at that. He's got like 7,000 troops, just short of 7,000 troops. So I'd prefer for that rubbish not to be happening. Let's have a quick look at our knights. See if we have any... what am I doing here? I want my knights. So, yeah, we don't have a huge deal of really good knights in there. We want you to be a knight as well. Our marshal, I'll allow him, but yeah, we don't have a great deal of good knights in here. We don't even have options to recruit any good knights. So the quality of our troops right now is terrible. We are gaining some additional money, not massively. Yeah, so those unraised men-at-arms are costing us some money. It also means if we do go to war, we're very, very quickly going to end up in a negative here. He hasn't declared a war yet, but I'm almost certain it won't take him long. And he's got an ally as well. He's allied with... or you're raiding Wessex. You're allied with... Oh, Poland, really? Fair enough. Yeah, I think though with that, it'll take him a little while to get in there, so we want to deal with Jorvik's troops before Poland's troops arrive. I don't suppose there's any chance we could, like, get them... Wow! I've got a 95% chance of being able to kill him off, and also a 95% chance of not being found out for it. I'm compassionate, so I gain some stress, but getting rid of him would be ideal. I'm happy to start that. People have joined that scheme already. And then once he dies off, it'll pass to him. Could we try and sway you? Yeah, let's try and make him like us a little bit. I mean, I'm still gonna go to war with them at some point, but it'd be nice if we can do it on my terms. Spouse, broadening horizons. While you know a thing or two about military strategies, the Petty King of Mercia should possess a broad range of skills, my wife says, smirking. I could acquire some new tomes, prepare a few assignments, and tutor you a little. What subjects are you most interested in? So, we could gain 1 Diplo, gain 1 Stewardship, or gain 1 Intrigue or 1 Theology. Probably the Stewardship. I'd like to get more money, to be honest. So let's go for Realm Economy. That also makes sense with our... well, no, she's a Grey Eminence. I thought she was Stewardship based. Doesn't matter anyway. I wanted the Stewardship point. The more higher the Stewardship, the more money you get, and the bigger domain you'll be able to have. So we'll see how this goes. Keeping my eye on the money because I do want to keep building up those men-at-arms. It would be nice if our levies were a little bit bigger, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Always starved for gold at the beginning of these campaigns. So it's going to take a little bit of time for that to get done. So let's just sit back. Let's just get the gold while we can. I was really expecting right there that was the declaration of war. It seems that not every servant at Jarl Halfdan's court is blindly loyal. Leoflade assures me that she has a way in, that a few coins in the right pocket can go a long way. 50 gold's kind of a lot to give. And there's also a chance that she's discovered. And I don't want that. There's a 95% chance of secrecy. So I'm just going to go with it's too risky. That could have possibly sped things up. But at the cost of 50 gold and at the cost of being discovered, it just probably isn't worthwhile to do. I wonder if killing him off will get rid of those event-spawned troops. I'm not 100% sure how and why they get their troops and what would cause them to lose them. Because, yeah, he's got 4,000 special soldiers, and I don't know why. Is there any way we can look this up? Open encyclopedia. Special soldiers are not like regular armies as they're not raised from a holding. Special soldiers can be gained through events and represent various things such as retinues, ravenous hordes and ambitious peasantry. Normally they do not cost maintenance and do not reinforce. Use them wisely if you have them. Several historical rulers start with special soldiers. So they don't reinforce. So if he starts to lose those soldiers through attrition or through war, he won't get them back. Maybe that's why in my little test game... he wasn't so much of a problem, because I think I killed more of his soldiers off during the war. But yeah, the fact that he's got those special soldiers does make me a little bit paranoid. So we're definitely going to try and kill him off. Now we're up to 86 gold here. That is enough for me to go ahead and get armoured footmen as well. You don't have any real terrain bonuses. Let's go for the light horsemen. They are a little bit cheaper. They do get a bonus in plains. Not in hills, mountains and wetlands. Nothing in forests. Yeah, I think we'll get those guys. There we go. So I can only have 3 groups of men-at-arms that can go up to rank 3. We'll be able to get 4 groups if we actually become a king. I still need to work out how to turn on the view so I can see de jure duchies. Because even though... So Mercia is a petty kingdom. A petty kingdom is basically the same as a duchy. But all of this isn't de jure Mercia, because there's Huisin here and a few others. Like, for example, if we look at Herefordshire here, this is actually... where's it going to tell me? This is part of... Oh, this is Mercia. I'm sure there should be one that shows the de jure places. De jure capital. No, I'm definitely missing something somewhere where you can see what all of the de jure places are. De jure duchies in the Kingdom of England. Can you show me the de jure duchies? Kingdom of Cornwall. Kingdom of England. Yeah, Petty Kingdom of... There we go. That's what I was looking for. So, Mercia isn't actually all of this. You've got Huis down here. You've got Essex, Kent, and Wessex. So, Wessex is a massive area, but they've actually got, like, 4 different duchies there. So, yeah. So, Huis is missing and Essex is missing down here. Certainly not as easy to get to as it is in Crusader Kings 3. The UI for Crusader Kings has always been needlessly overcomplicated. Well, he hasn't declared war on me, and I'm certainly happy about that. He's got even more soldiers than he had before. I'm not as happy about that. I would like to kill him off, though. The heir and son is not swayed. We'll make another attempt. That said, it didn't have a particularly high success chance. I've received a missive from Prince Rodri of Gwynedd. It claims that Earl Edmund, my vassal, has requested support in a plot against me. There's nothing I value more than loyalty. Rodri's letter reads, hence why I share this with you. So this is Rodri, who is basically not even anything to do with me. You're my knight and vassal. You quite like me. Are you really plotting against me? Do I believe this? We could confront him in person. You gain protected vassal honour for 10 years. Let's confront him in person, see what happens. There's 3 months left on the assassination plot. Earl Edmund can do nothing but confess when he's confronted with Prince Rodri's letter. It was not, how can I make this right again? He glances down, but I can see the fear written on his face. Do everything I say and you will be spared. We get a weak hook on him. Or you gain an act of benevolence for 10 years and he gains close watch for 5. So act of benevolence makes our realm laws cheaper and gives us more direct vassal opinion. And his hostile scheme power is reduced and he can't join factions. Yeah, let's go for that one. It would be nice if I could actually take one of my vassals. 508 soldiers. See, you've got a lot of soldiers. Could I go and put the laws up? I'm going to try to remember how to do this now as well. There is a way to affect individual laws in individual realms. Realm, vassals. This is you. Feudal levies. I'm not his rightful liege. Am I not? Modify feudal contract. There we go. So we'd lose some vassal opinion, but we could put his levies up to high. And get another 5%, although it's an act of tyranny, so maybe not. Okay, in that case, we just carry on as is. We'll wait for this murder plot to finish. Sweet smiles and little eyes, just like other children her age. My daughter and hair... Oh, God, that's her name, isn't it? Sinethrith. Sometimes lies and tests boundaries. However, she often avoids suspicion with her sweet demeanour and people always forgive her when she does get caught. I wonder just how much she gets away with. So she gains the trait Charming. It gives her 1 intrigue and 1 diplomacy. Okay, so this murder plot is getting there. There's like 1 month left for it to go. There's still a 95% chance for it to happen and a 95% chance of secrecy. So let us wait for that. Uninvited. One of my agents has acquired a deadly spider and arranged for a servant to hide it in Jarl Halfdan's bed before dark. All they need is my go-ahead and he will be as good as dead the moment the spider strikes. Does give us some stress. Sure, we've already spent the stress to start the scheme, so we're going to do it. Jarl Halfdan is dead by lethal bite of a deadly spider. The spider struck not long after he retired to his chambers, and although the guards were called, no one could do anything to save him. Thankfully, spiders do not talk, so the attack cannot be traced back to me. That is lovely. And you'll now actually see that his realm is split up because Northumbria have been freed up a little bit there. Northumbria is possibly going to be friendly. Let's just pause up there. We can't get an alliance with you anyway. The enemy of Rome. While studying the tactics of ancient generals, I was horrified to learn about the exploits of Hannibal Barca during the Second Punic War. Known as the enemy of Rome, Hannibal's crowning achievement was the Battle of Cannae, which his army of roughly 50,000 outmaneuvered and encircled a larger 86,000 strong Roman army. Surrounded and unable to retreat, only 3,000 Romans survived the massacre. Like Hannibal, I will annihilate my armies. It will give us 10 stress and make us critical. But that would give us aggressive attacker, which gives us an extra 25% enemy fatal casualties. Ow. Hannibal was the true master of Fabian tactics, so still gets still get 10 stress, and that would give us logistician, which is supply duration 100%. Versatility was Hannibal's great strength, which would give us flexible leader. So enemy defensive advantage minus 50%, or bah, he was a fool. That defensive, I think I don't want the stress right now, so I'm going to go for the versatile one. Flexible leader is nice. Remove the enemy's defensive advantage. What have we got going on here? We can ask our head of faith for gold. Now I am trying to save up piety, so probably don't want to do that right now. We can actually go and declare war on Northumbria if we wanted. And take that land. Let's just assume that I were to do that. It would only be for the county of Cumberland, though. I'd want the whole duchy, to be honest. And we can't afford that. Because we don't have the right level of devotion. We need to get up to faithful. We're getting there. We're at we're not quite halfway there yet, so we'll allow that to play out. My marshal's taken a very long time in dealing with the control here. What's my marshal's skill? 15. Still 3 years left. I think that it was just a slow one to begin with. My steward is also terrible. Can we get a better steward? Not really. I mean, we could put this knight in charge of being the steward. What are your current skills? You're an 11. You quite like me. But I do think you'd make a better... Make you a better steward. Yeah, let's assign you to the steward position. Now you're going to be upset because you want the seat on the council. Got a guest here we can recruit. Who are you? Oh, 17. How much to recruit you to court? 10 gold, yes. I know this will upset some people, but you should definitely be our chancellor with that skill. Look at that. So he doesn't really, the other guy didn't really want to be on the council, so he's only going to lose 20 score, 20 opinion of us. What about? Yeah, you're still the highest there. Fine. Yep, not too much else that we can do. Neighbouring ruler won a war. Okay. Right, let's just unpause because I've just realised that I keep pausing while I'm checking stuff. So that has weakened Jorvik. I'm happy about that because that makes my life a little bit easier. What about if we were to kill you off? Because obviously you don't really want to be my friend, do you? Don't have an option to murder him because I'm already scheming against him. There's only 1 month left, or 2 months left. Yeah, 1 month now. So we'll wait to see if that sway happens. There we go. The sway did not happen, so we will stop that scheme. And then we'll see if instead we can kill him off. Now that's got again a 90. It's a 3-year. It's a 3-year thing. Oh, we've been overwhelmed by stress. Yes, we have. Let's go and do some decisions. We want to call a hunt, really, but we don't quite have the gold for it. We can always go and take some money from the church to do that, so that's not a problem. Mental break, imposter. Recently I feel I'm not worthy of the Petty Kingdom of Mercia. Do all the rulers doubt themselves as I doubt myself? I try to be good, temperate Petty King, but my mouth seems to water constantly. Everything makes me hungry. Why am I so damnably, uncharacteristically hungry? Damn this universe for raising one so poor as me to such heights. We can gain the trait irritable. We'd lose diplomacy and martial, but we gain prowess and gain dread. I will scourge myself for my sins. We could gain the trait flagellant, which we'd lose prowess, and we'd also lose some health. Or I'm just as good as the rest and gain more stress. I mean, how long is irritable is permanent? -1 martial. I could live with the -1 martial, to be honest. An extra 2 prowess. Swear to God I'll punch someone. But we're still going to. Let's do this because we can afford to do it. Let's ask the Head of Faith for gold. And he grants it. Let's go ahead and do the decision. And let's call the hunt. So we'll lose some stress on this one. We're no longer overwhelmed by stress. We're about to get another lifestyle point as well. You would think a creature from myth, perhaps a god disguised in animal form. It was the largest heart I have ever seen. Even after the beast was wounded and the chase lasted half a day, it is still an imposing sight lying dead before me. This one will fetch a fine price. I have a beautiful trophy made for my brother-in-law, or it will be stuffed and sent to the Pope. Do I want the gold, or do I want some opinion? I can put the gold to better use than opinion. So I am going to do that. This 3-year plot has now gotten down to 11 months because more people have joined. The hunt is drawing to an end. We mount our horses and leave the plains behind as the servants prepare the heart and other game for the journey back. In spite of the difficulties along the way, the hunt went very well. Hunt ends, we gain 150 prestige. Nice. Yeah, I'm happy with how that went. My son and heir. We have another son. It's also time. Let me just... I'm going to pause that up. Gullible wife. I can barely contain my glee as I find Petty Queen Dubwara, Jarl... I have no idea what his name is. Wife is waiting for me along with a small equipage? Small equipage? I'm not even familiar with that word. If I could get her to help me in my scheme. You sent word that you wanted to see me, my lord. Diplomacy challenge against him. Possible outcomes. The Queen believes me. And she loses opinion of him. Yeah, I don't really need those dice rolls. Let's just go along with things and have as is. Let's have a look how things are going on in Francia. You've still got no more children. You have no more... in fact, look, I think you might have lost a child there, because I'm sure you had 3 the last time I checked. I can't even remember. So yeah, we're going to struggle there. Where else could we potentially get? Brittany, maybe? You don't have a female heir. What about Northumbria? You do have unmarried daughters. What if I were to arrange a marriage between you and my son? Will not accept. We have too many existing alliances and she'd be marrying down. Yeah, well that's fair, I suppose. I guess we will just have to wait. So we weren't able to take too much land in this video, and that is the way it happens in Crusader Kings. It's not as quick as EU4, where you can just go into war after war after war and take massive swaths of land. You do very often end up just having to bide your time and take a county here and there. Before we end this video, though, we will go and do that lifestyle perk. We can spend it either, because we've finished strategist now, we can either spend it in overseer or gallant. I tend to prefer gallant. There is some nice stuff in overseer. I mean, normally the natural dread and the control growth is nice, but again, the natural dread doesn't help because I'm temperate, and therefore... Actually, did the temperate get swapped out with... no, compassionate, sorry. Compassionate gives you dread decay. So that gives us 10% dread gain, and that gives us 100% dread decay. So it doesn't really balance out. So the dread is kind of worthless. Control growth is nice though. Controlled territory defend is nice. Increased counter control in general is nice. Again, more dread gain. But fighting against that temperate is really just difficult. Army gold maintenance reduced by 15%. Now that is nice. And friendly territory levy reinforcement rate by 100% is also nice. And cheaper mercenaries. But Gallant's also nice as well because you get more prowess in there. You can get 75% knight effectiveness, fewer friendly casualties, more advantage, more knights, quicker peace acceptance, and Gallant's also nice because it gives you martial and prowess. So I think we're going to go down the Gallant tree. So that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series of Crusader Kings 3. If you like, please do remember to like the video. If you didn't enjoy it, then by all means dislike, comment, subscribe, all of those good things, because they do really help the channel out, especially as I had quite a long hiatus and I'm just getting back onto the bike, as it were, and I want to build the channel back up again. So any of those things that you can do really helps me out. So thanks for watching all the way till the end. I will see you on the next video, and until then, goodbye for now.